what's up guys, this is Gary from Killer Off-Road Hobbies, and today we're going to be doing a comparison video between the CEN Colossus XT Reeper versus the X-Maxx 8S. Well, I guess the voices should have been the different, but whatever. So we're going to go over the almost no similarities these things have, and then the differences about them. I have a lot of experience with the Colossus XT as of right now, and I have almost no experience with the X-Maxx, but you know, I'm going to be doing a review video of this very soon and a first run video of this very soon. I did run this on 6S just to make sure everything was good, and comparably this on 6S is about this on 4S, which is poo. So we're going to be running this thing on 8S just like we run this thing on 6S all the time. Yeah, because neither one of these are impressive to say at all on their lower settings. So, and this thing has a lot of stuff that's kind of funky. We'll go over that in the review video. In this video, we're just going to compare the two. Now, comparably, the X-Maxx is a bigger RC, hands down. They're both 1/6 or 1/7 scale. I would actually just say this is 1/7 scale and this is 1/6 scale. It's not a huge difference, but the X-Maxx is a bigger RC. It's a little bit longer, it's quite a bit wider, and it's just all around bigger and beefier looking than the Colossus. That's not to say that the Colossus isn't a big beefy RC, which it is. It's just the X-Maxx is a little bit bigger. You know, overall they come very, very different. This thing has 100% plastic interlocking chassis, kind of flat layout, you know, and this thing is the twin vertical plate chassis, or the Savage style. It's just a lot longer. It's got a nice real thick chassis. The weight difference is pretty substantial. The X-Maxx says that it's only like 20 pounds. I would have to say that's BS. This thing definitely feels like it weighs more than 20 pounds. This thing, on the other hand, is relatively light for how big it is because of the simplicity of the build on it. You know, it's got big components where it needs them, but it also has small components to kind of lighten it up. The tires on the X-Maxx are, you know, for size comparison, they would be a lot bigger. You know, for, you know, if we were 1/6 scale, you know, the size difference in the tires would be pretty huge. The X-Maxx looks to have much beefier A-arms. It's got bigger, better shocks, I'm guessing, because the shocks in this thing are kind of not good. Yeah, so let's just pop the caps off of these. I love the body style, and just how they did the body on the X-Maxx. I love it. I love the setup of the body on this thing. It is just mean looking. You know, it's got the nice rise up right here, like a cowl induction hood for a Chevy, and it just looks like it's ready to go. It looks like it has power, but it's also sleek and kind of race car looking, with these high fenders and the nice curves on the body and everything. They did very well on this body, and this clip thing that they came up with, this thing right here, I love it already. I've seen bash videos where it actually holds up and the body doesn't come flying off all the time. So if that's actually the case, I mean, I think this thing should take over for body clips entirely. Now, the body on the CEN Colossus has been surprisingly resilient due to the fact that I have smashed and smashed and smashed this thing several times. I did reinforce it heavily before I ever took it out, but the body posts have held up. I mean, you know, they stick way up. I don't know why I haven't cut them off yet like I did on my one A scale Colossus, but it is what it is. The bodies hold up, and I think it looks awesome. But we'll do this before we start going into anything else. So we'll set the Colossus body on, try and get it as centered up as possible right there. And then we'll put the X-Maxx body on the Colossus. And I don't know if you guys can see the difference or not, but yeah, so it looks to me like basically the X-Maxx body, unless you care about it like being over the back bumper, because it's about an inch past the back bumper, and it looks like it will pretty much rub everywhere. Yeah, especially because it won't sit this high. You'll have to put holes in it to lower it down on the body posts. So I would say that the X-Maxx body, unless you don't mind trimming a whole bunch and having a bunch of rubbing issues with your tires, I would say the X-Maxx body probably wouldn't be ideal for the CEN Colossus. That's not to say that you can't make it work, but it looks like it'd be pretty hard to make work. And if you have a rear impact, it's just going to be on the body because it sticks past the bumper. Yeah, I think the CEN Colossus body looks awesome on the X-Maxx though. I really do. It looks killer. That's awesome. It is slightly short, like the wheel wells don't line up with the tires, but yeah, it looks pretty cool. So I would actually run the Colossus body on the X-Maxx if you felt so inclined to change all the brackets and everything over. But I personally wouldn't run the X-Maxx body on the Colossus. I think the body's just too big. Be one of those RCs with, you know, a huge body on a smaller truck, kind of like a short course truck. Okay, so here they all are in all of their glory. All right, so see if we can get this thing to roll backwards without pulling our tail. And this thing should, yeah. All right, guys, so hopefully you can see that, just see the sheer size of the X-Maxx. I mean, it is freaking huge. And just how much different these things are. Like I said, this thing's got the twin vertical plate chassis, which makes it nice and narrow. We'll line it up wheel nut to wheel nut. You can see they're about the same length. You know, the wheelie bar sticks out a little bit and the front bumper sticks out a little bit. It's got a little slightly longer wheelbase. The tires are quite a bit bigger. The chassis is much wider to support those huge 4S packs that come with, you know, that I got for it. You can see the difference in the shocks here. Look at that. Look at that shock. That is huge. You know, if you put those shocks, like, just blow me away how big these are. I thought these were big when I first saw them, but you know, this thing is just crazy. It has so much more suspension travel. Like, that's it for the CEN Colossus. Look at that. X-Maxx. Just huge suspension travel. I'm not sure about, this thing's really wide and it's got a nice soft suspension set up right now out of the box. So I'm not sure about like rollover issues or whatever. The CEN Colossus, between the tires, the narrow chassis and everything, this thing doesn't traction roll. You know, or I haven't got it to traction roll on anything at the skate park or anything. You can just huck it at full speed and it most likely won't do it. I don't think I've ever done that yet, but no traction roll problems with this thing. Everything's down nice and low. It's got the huge stance, but that's mostly the body. You know, as you can see, everything's just nice, slim, well put together. This truck is a well put together RC for what it is, and you can see the difference, but you also have to see the price difference. You know, this thing's $650 where this thing's $900, and then if you want to get the packs, I mean, it is like about $1,300 with taxes. Where this thing, you can just run 3S packs that you got. You know, I had the TX90 put to Traxxas connectors because that's what all my 3S batteries run. My big 3S packs that I use for my monster trucks use Traxxas. So I had those converted. That was, what, $10? And it actually came with the female ends and the male ends so that you could have something made or have them put on your batteries. I didn't want to go through all that. It gets plenty of power the way it is. It's 150 amp ESC. You know, it's not having any power issues by having that, I don't think anyways. But the power system, this has a 1450 kV motor, and it's got 150 amp ESC, which you would see in a, you know, basically an A scale, but this thing's about the weight of an A scale, maybe a little heavier. I'm not sure about the gearing and everything. But once you tune the ESC, it's got plenty of power for what it is. This thing on 4S is just a dog, or on 6S is just a dog, just like this thing on 4S is a dog. But it's got the 1275 kV motor with the Valenion double fan. I'm not sure the amperage on this Valenion ESC. It's probably up around 200 somewhere. I'm not sure. It's actually surprisingly hard to find the information on this thing. I didn't look that hard, but it wasn't just readily available. I would have had to actually look for it. Now, I have heard people talk about slop in the wheels and steering and stuff like that. Well, this is brand new, and this thing's been bashed hard several times. But I mean, if you're talking about that little bit of slop right there, I've seen way worse in 10 scales even. I mean, for the size of this truck and the size of the components, I mean, that's almost nothing. Where you come over here, look at this. Like, I probably need to tighten some stuff up. I do need to go through this thing. I have bashed the bejesus out of it. But look at all this. Look how much slop's in that, and this thing does fine. It's not a race car, you guys. It's a big monster truck basher. I mean, you know, I don't think having to have, like, you know, 1/100th of a centimeter of slop is too much. I just don't see where people would talk about that. But people do like to get this huge RC and try and make it go 100 miles an hour. Which I don't understand, but hey, if you're a speed guy, that's your thing. My thing's bashing and jumping and stuff. Your thing could be speed. You could buy an X-Maxx just for speed. That's your thing. It's not, you know, there's nothing wrong with it. I'm just saying that's not my thing, and I'm not worried about the little bit of slop this thing has, because I'm not worried about the slop that this thing has, and it's got probably 4 or 5 times the slop this thing does as of right now. But like I said, this thing has been bashed and beaten and hucked huge, and this thing's been driven down the street like twice on 6S. But you know, the X-Maxx is a slightly bigger RC, I will say that, and you know, it's built to it looks like it's built to actually sustain itself for its size. You know, it's much wider. I don't think there's going to be traction roll issues with this thing. I have heard bad things about the diffs, even in the new ones. I've heard bad things about the ESCs in the new ones, and this V2 8S X-Maxx. You know, time will tell. You guys know me. I'm brutally honest about everything that I get, and I review, and I tell you what I think of it. I don't sugarcoat it. So, you know, if this thing's got problems, I will let you know. Just like all the problems I've had with the Colossus, I've let you guys know every little thing I've had go wrong with it. But I still think this is a good RC, and we will see what the X-Maxx holds. The bash spot won out like almost. You know, we had several we had several people say that we should go to the bash spot on 8S, and then only like 2 people said the skate park. So we're gonna go ahead and take this thing whenever it stops raining. God, it will never stop raining here, I swear. But whenever it stops raining, probably Thursday or Friday, I'll go shoot the video, and it'll be up either Friday or Saturday, so you guys can see it. I'm just going to run it on 8S because, like I said, on 6S, it's just a PUD. Look for more from this thing. I'm going to be doing a review, but this thing is definitely going to be staying in my arsenal, and I'm just going to keep doing what I do with it. Please give this video the thumbs up if you like it, thumbs down if you didn't. Click that bell if you want to be notified to all my newest uploads. And if you're new here and you like this video, go ahead and subscribe if you feel like it. You know, either way is good to me. If you guys just want to tune in and watch my videos every now and then without subscribing, that's your prerogative. It's all good, guys. But this is the comparison between the Traxxas X-Maxx 8S version and the CEN Colossus XT Reeper. And I'm Gary saying get out there, get an RC, go have fun, and we'll see you right here next time from Killer Off-Road Hobbies. You guys take it easy. Peace.